I'm going to also ask you a very simple question. Before I talk, I want to ask you a very simple question. If you know that you want a state, your state, our state, to be created from the 9 local government areas that make up Anioma, if you know that you support this idea, say yeah.
We want it.
If you think that you don't want it, for whatever reason, say no.
The eyes have it.
So, the eyes have it, isn't it?
Welcome and welcome back, my people. So that was Senator Ned Nwoko. You know, he was asking his people whether they want Anioma State or not. So that this thing that be going on about the creation of another state, whether it's going to be Orlu State or Anioma State. But initial time, it was Ikenga Ugochinyere, you know, that brought up this bill of creating a new state in the southeast, especially Orlu State. But in recent time, a lot of people have been debating whether to create Anioma State or Orlu State. A lot of people quite agreed with what Ned Nwoko is saying, that it is better to create this Anioma State, but that this confusion, you know, whether if they create Anioma State, if it's going to be part of a Southeast, because right now in the Southeast, we have only 5 states. So people are saying that it's only Southeast that has less states, because other regions, they have 6, 7. In this particular topic, you know, Ned Nwoko is the one that have been, you know, saying a lot of things about this Anioma. And he have not really said whether if they create Anioma State, if it's going to be part of Southeast or it's going to be part of South-South. So that's why people are kind of confused, because Ned Nwoko, one of his video which I watched, he said that it doesn't matter whether it's Southeast or the South-South. But if it's in South-South, then there's no need for that, right? So that's why people really want to know before they take their own decision. Like, if they create an Anioma State, is it going to be Southeast or is it going to be South-South? So in this particular interview, you know, Ned Nwoko was kind of open to let people know, like, if it's going to be Southeast or if it's going to be South-South, because according to him, he did not say it like Roha, right? But he said that I've already met with Ohanes and Igbo, all this, all that. So that to show you that definitely, if eventually that Anioma State is created, it's going to be part of Southeast, not South-South. So my people, let me allow you guys to watch this particular interview so that you can hear what Senator Ned Nwoko said here concerning the creation of Anioma State. And before then, please, if today is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell. It's very, very important, so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be the first person to be notified. Don't forget to share the video as well. So my people, let's go ahead and watch the video and I will be right back.
Welcome back. Now, the lawmaker representing Delta North in the Senate, Senator Ned Nwoko, says he's presented a bill for the creation of Anioma State to correct historical oversight. In a recent post on his X handle on Monday, Senator Nwoko said his proposal will address the long-standing imbalance in the geopolitical distribution of states in Nigeria. He also said that the Southeast geopolitical zone currently has 5 states, unlike its counterparts elsewhere, except for the Northwest, which has 7 states. According to him, this disparity results in an imbalance of representation and resources, with the Southeast having only 15 lawmakers compared to the 18 lawmakers of other zones in the Senate. The new state proposed by Senator Nwoko is made up of 9 local government areas in the present Delta State. Senator Nwoko now joins us on the show to shed more light on his proposed bill. Senator, thank you very much for coming on the show. Now, a lot of people argue that the creation of Anioma State might be for a good cause, even though, you know, Anioma people belong to, some people would argue, the Niger Delta because they are in Delta State. Now, people have some people have argued that, well, that this may be for a good cause, especially when you consider that the Southeast is short of one state, unlike other regions, and they are marginalized, as some people have said. You also mentioned that this shortcomings plays out during elections, but citizens have argued that the timing might be wrong. So what are your thoughts on this line of thinking?
It's wrong? No, it's never wrong. We've waited for 1 year before asking for it. As a matter of fact, I am in the Constitution Drafting Committee of the Senate, the Constitution Amendment Committee, rather, of the Senate. And creation of state is just one of those things that we've agreed to look into. So it is not a wrong time, it's actually the right time. And as far as South is concerned, as you know, yes, they have 5 states. Others have 6, south and southwest, and then up north we have 7, and then 6. We can never have enough states, but there are some very historical clamor, like the creation of Anioma State. Anioma is a very homogeneous people, currently occupying 9 local government areas of Delta State. And out of that 9 local government areas, we have we have 6 of them that are oil and gas producing. And I'm sure you know Asaba, the location of Asaba. Asaba has grown really and has all the potentials. We have what it takes to be a state. There are many states in Nigeria that have just 8 local governments, but mine senatorial district will have 9. So it is the right thing to do. As a matter of fact, for the past 20 years, we've been asking for an Anioma State. All the kings from my place have been asking for an Anioma State. Our socio-economic leadership, called the Izu Anioma, have been asking for an Anioma State, and most of the political class too. So we are clamoring for it. Whether at the end of the day it is now geographically said to be in south-south or southeast is another issue entirely.
Now, you've just described the marginalization of the zone now in the whole issue of state creation as a historical error. Do you think the creation of this new state will actually ensure fair representation and resource allocation to the southeast region? And the reason why I'm asking this is because the Anioma people are known to belong to Delta State, and Delta State is seen as the South-South region.
Of course it will. There's really no rationale for the current position where Southeast have just 5 states. There's no justification whatsoever. So if in the wisdom of the president and others, they decide to create one state to make it equitably so for that region, then so be it. But the Igbos have been marginalized for too long, and this is just one of those steps that needs to be taken for there to be some semblance of equity and justice.
Now, we know that the process of state creation is not a tea party at all. It's a very cumbersome process. You would certainly know that because you're a senator and you've been in the House of Representatives as well. So what level of support have you gotten since you declared your intention to sponsor this bill to create this new state now? And have adequate consultations now been made to this effect?
Of course, yes. I've had meetings with Ohaneze Ndibo. I've had meetings with the women leadership of Ohaneze. I've had meetings with Anioma interest groups. As I told you, there have been many, over 20 years, the kings of Anioma, led by the Asaba of Asaba and the Obi of Owa, have led many delegations to various presidents, starting with Obasanjo's time, to Yar'Adua's time, to Goodluck Jonathan's time, and to Buhari's time. The only only president that we've not discussed with is this current president. And so it's not a new thing. I'm not starting a new thing. It's something that has been there. And we all know that it is desirable. It is a state that has the potentials and rich in resources. So it's not just one of those states that will be struggling to survive. We do have things that will make us to do well as a state.
Now, has there been discussions on how the Anioma State will be derived? Where do you propose, for instance, it will be carved out from, especially since we know the Anioma people are mainly in Delta State?
It's just the current Delta State. It is the current Delta State. As I told you, there are 9 local government areas that consist of Delta North. That's the Anioma area. And then if the wisdom of those who make it happen, they decide to bring people from other parts of Southeast, or there are arguably some other kits and kin across the riverbanks of Niger. So they can come from anywhere. It's all about proximity, isn't it? Yeah.
Now, you would have learned that a member of the House of Representatives, that's that member now from Idato Federal Constituency, Ikenga Ugochinyere, has made a similar call for a 6th southeastern state named Orlu. So what are your thoughts on this?
Well, he has the right to do what he's doing, just as I have as well. But Southeast is like 5 fingers. You know, they have 5 states. Just imagine 5 fingers, 5 states. So if you want an additional finger that represents a state, you go and cut the 5 states that you already have. No, you look for a finger elsewhere to add to it, to expand your territory. And that's what I'm proposing. Having an Orlu state is like cutting a finger or 2 and counting it as 1, or counting it as 2 rather, you know. I mean, I don't know whether you understand my analogy, you know. Thank you.
Now, a common denominator of these agitations is the fact that the Southeast deserves an additional state to be at par with other geopolitical zones in the country. Have you also considered the current agitation for a new minimum wage, considering that some states are still unable to pay the current amount of 30,000 naira? So when we're talking about the viability of states, do you think this new state you're proposing now will be viable?
As I told you, Delta State is rich in resources. 6 out of the 9 local governments are oil and gas producing. I've just told the oil and gas producing communities about 2 weeks ago to see for myself what is happening. And there are huge companies, you know, producing oil. We have the modular refineries operating. We have the LNG companies. There's many of them. And of course, we are rich in natural resources. We're a lot of farmers in my place, a lot of fishermen, a lot of very educated people. But if you come to Asaba and its environs, it's actually been taken over by Southeasterners. And so most of the hotels, most of the shopping malls, most of the businesses in Asaba are actually owned by Southeasterners. They own at least about 80% of the, if I'm not mistaken, about 80% of the current businesses in Asaba. So we have a lot of opportunities. Yes, we're not going to be short of anything at all.
So my people, that is it. I hope you heard everything Senator Ned Nwoko said here. According to him, they have already met with Ohaneze Ndigbo, this and that and all that. This is to show you that if eventually that Anioma State is created, definitely is going to be part of a Southeast. Yes, my people. So those people that are kind of, slacking back, not supporting this bill, because people are kind of confused whether it's going to be Southeast or it's going to be South-South. As you can hear from Senator Ned Nwoko, definitely if Anioma State is created, it's going to be Southeast, not South-South. Yes, my people, that is it. Please, I would love you guys to leave your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this bill of creating a new state, which is going to be Anioma State or Orlu State? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. Just as I said before, if today is your first time, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more updates. And thank you everyone that will be sharing my video. I truly appreciate you all. Yes, my people, I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye for now.